State down here in Tennessee. We don't need y'all to talk about us because we're going to talk about ourselves.
Welcome in, everybody, once again to Titans Tube. The leaves are changing. The weather's changing, Jake. It still kind of gets to me. I'm a little congested and coughed up. But nonetheless, guys, this is going to be our recap for week 7 of the NFL season where the Titans, we did it again, Jake. We did it again. A massive home win against the Indianapolis Colts. Make it 5 straight, Jake. Make it 5 straight. What year is this? It's never happened in my lifetime where we have finally seemed to turn the tide against this Colts team, Jake. Man, what a victory. I know it's Wednesday, so there's been a lot of already recapping and reacting to the past week of games in the NFL. So, we're a little late kind of reacting here, but we're just going to kind of try to breeze through and give our initial thoughts and takeaways from that game. Jake, starting with you, how do you feel, man? Titans 4-2 now, right where we wanted to be after that start.
Absolutely, Justin. I feel great. About this football team, and it's I try to ignore that the Titans are in the absolute basement of the NFL when it comes to offensive production. I try to ignore that. I know it's the Bills and the Chiefs and everybody else. I try to ignore that right now, and just it feels good to feel love for this football team again. And in sweeping the Colts for the second straight year, it just feels there's no word to describe it other than love. The love is back in the room with me and this team. And obviously, you have to shout out the Mike Vrabel, Ben Jones interaction in the tunnel that has been circulating social media this week. And I guess that's where I get the love word from. It feels good to be a Titans fan this week. I'm going to ignore every negative thing about the game, every negative thing about this team so far this year, every injury that has piled up in that absolute dogfight against the Colts on Sunday. But it just feels good to be in love with this team again, Justin. It's just great to be on the winning side of another sweep of the Colts.
Dude, absolutely. We are living in good times. And yeah, I'm glad you brought that up between Mike Vrabel and Ben Jones. You can feel the love. The love is in the air with this team and this coach. I mean, you saw Vrabel literally crying, telling Ben Jones how proud he was, and he's never seen anything like it, whatever he was talking about, maybe carrying an entire pile of bodies 5+ yards down the field to close out the game at the end there. What an incredible play. We love Ben Jones, man. He has really become a fan favorite. Really low-key establishing himself as like kind of a Titans legend. I mean, we've had some great centers in our time here, but he may not be as talented or as great as Kevin Mawai was, but man, talk about a consistent and steady presence. He's missed maybe one game ever in his career. I think I saw something like that. But he's always there, always available. And do we need that ever on this O-line, is to have a steady veteran presence, because it's kind of pieced together here through losing certain players and having other players going through injuries. But that's just a side note. But yes, you love to see this team really. You can see them rallying around Vrabel, and he's just a guy that you can tell why players love to play for him, because he shows that he cares about winning and he cares about the players. So anyway, great moment between Ben Jones and Vrabel. And did Jeff Fisher ever shed tears? Was there ever video of Jeff Fisher shedding tears, or Mike Munchak or Malarkey, or definitely not Wizen Hunt? I don't know if he felt anything being the coach of this team here. Anyway, really put on some whiz slander. But anyway, love it, dude. Love the moment between Vrabel and Jones, and just this team is bought in and they believe in what we've built here.
Definitely. And speaking of that durability, Justin, there's somebody else that I really was feeling the love for on Sunday. And it wasn't because of his performance on the field, and it wasn't for his performance overall, but Ryan Tannehill set the record for most consecutive starts by a Titans quarterback on Sunday, 49 consecutive games, passing the great Steve McNair, number 9. It's
Wow.
really high time that we acknowledge Ryan Tannehill's, I don't know, ethos, acknowledge his presence in this franchise's history as a steady, consistent role at quarterback. Has he been great? Yeah. Has he had some stinkers? Absolutely. But we can't let the big stage stinkers cloud our judgment of Ryan Tannehill being the most rock solid quarterback this franchise has ever seen, Justin. And I know Steve McNair, Iron Man, did so many great things for this franchise, but he just had his record beaten 4 consecutive starts for this team. It's amazing. So definite full bouquet of flowers to Ryan Tannehill.
For sure. And I'm equally surprised that McNair even had that many consecutive starts, because he was hurt a lot and he missed a lot of games in his playing career, especially towards the end. But yeah, man, I can't believe it's been that many games since we've had Ryan Tannehill taking snaps for this team. Man, time is flying by. But man, yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to Ryan Tannehill and what he's brought to this team and what he means to, what we would be lost without Ryan Tannehill this season for sure. I mean, Malik Willis, I know maybe we're not supposed to be bringing you in on jet sweeps, but he's still a work in progress, Jake. And if Tannehill goes down, I still don't think I have faith in Malik Willis to lead us to games, be that steady presence, taking care of the ball, which Ryan Tannehill has been much better at this season. But I know I threw in Malik Willis and the Todd Downing play out of left field, which I know maybe it's all.
You're ruining the love that I had felt and that I started the episode with. I wanted to forget about that, Justin. I do remember now the jet sweep call to Malik Willis that almost could have cost us the game, but it didn't. All love. It's no negativity here from me this week, Justin. But yeah, continue.
I guess so. One kind of rant that I did want to go on and kind of, throwing it back to Steve McNair and those old teams is that this win, Jake, was such a vintage, and, I'm a nostalgic guy, especially for the Titans, but it was such a vintage 1999, 2000s win. There were so many games where even if the Titans were much better than the other team, oftentimes it would be, we got 4 field goals from our kicker. We got a huge defensive play with a very opportunistic defense. Big shout out to Andrew Adams. I mean, might as well call him the player of the game. I mean, this guy,
he was all over the field.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't just that one play, but like you said, making tackles. He finished, what was like 10 tackles, and he was showing up a lot. And speaking of that play, I will say, dude, where we were sitting, so where our seats are, we're in the north end zone. So he took off away from us and scored at the other end. But dude, the electricity in our stadium was just lit. It was just on fire. And dude, I was pumped. I can't remember the last time I saw is in person a Titans pick 6 go into the house. Like, it was such a exciting, fun moment. Like, everybody was going crazy in our section. Very, very fun moments. And what a play by Andrew Adams. So kind of going off the vintage win, 19-10 is such a typical old school Titan score. You get a huge defensive touchdown, kind of steady, but a holes in the offense, giving you 4 field goals. Your running back gives you 30 carries for 120 yards. That is an Eddie George stat line if we ever saw one. And then just a suffocating defense with the defensive line, 2 veteran safeties on the back end. Like, there's so many similarities between this team and the 99-2000s team. Not that this team is that. I mean, Ryan Tannehill and McNair are 2 different quarterbacks. Our offensive line now is not that offensive line. I mean, that offensive line was veteran and good, but a lot of similarities, a lot of vintage Titans wins. And it wasn't just that era, but dude, the Titans have been doing this for the last 20 years, and that's just our identity. And it seemed like it took this team a while to rediscover that identity, grinding out wins with tough defense, taking care of the football, and winning kind of close ho-hum score kind of games. And that's what we've seen for pretty much 4 straight weeks now. So we rediscovered our identity, it seems, and I'm starting to believe in this team again, especially if the defense and all of these studs that we have on this defense continue to play like they have been. We're in for a pretty solid season, it seems like. But beyond that, who knows? We still have holes to talk about, Jake. If we want to shout back out to that horrible Malik Willis play, but rant over. Sorry, went on.
No. For all good. It was a very vintage win, Justin. I love, don't get me wrong, I'm a guy who loves vintage wins. I love gritty football. And I like a defensive battle, especially when we see the Titans defense show up like they did on Sunday.
Mhm.
But it goes back to what I said a little bit earlier. I'm going to ignore that. I don't think this team is a Super Bowl contender. I know
Sure.
it's only week 7 and we don't know. We don't know anything about what the playoffs are going to shake out and look like. We don't know what January looks like. But right now, when you look at the Bills and the Chiefs and keeping up with the Joneses, and even the Cincinnati Bengals are turning a corner again, you're not going to win scoring 19 points. And Matt Ryan isn't going to gift you 2 interceptions straight into the gut of a defending player. And also, we didn't even mention yet, Matt Ryan benched for the rest of the year. Justin, he has a shoulder separation, but they made it very clear that despite the injury, it's a very real injury, very real pain, like we see with Russell Wilson in Denver. But they benched Matt Ryan for the rest of the year. Unbelievable. Has 5 straight wins broken the Colts, Justin? Let's shift away from the Titans problems that I was starting to bring up, and let's just look at Indianapolis for a second. And it's unbelievable. I mean, these guys beat us 11 straight times with Andrew Luck. They've gone on the craziest winning streaks ever. The Titans win 5 in a row, and all of a sudden their franchise is in absolute tatters. They're going to fire Frank Reich. They benched the guy they're paying millions of dollars, and they're going with Sam Ehlinger, quarterback out of Texas. Maybe he provides a spark and a flash, but who knows?
They're in unfamiliar territory, not dominating their division and having a generational quarterback talent to lead the way. They're going through the journey that most all 99% of franchises have to go through, and finding their franchise quarterback. And it's beautiful to see, Jake. And but at the same time, like, this Colts team is still 3-3-1. Their season is very much alive in the standings, and they could still make something of the season. But by what their moves are saying, and how everybody's kind of reacting to this Colts team, it's like it's time to tank and throw in Sam Ehlinger, and this season is lost, and they're already giving up on their however many tens of millions of dollars quarterback veteran Matt Ryan. No, he hasn't played well. Carson Wentz had so many moments where he lost the game and had so many mistakes, and they never once considered benching him, much less for the entire season. Is this drastic? I don't know if I totally disagree with the move, but it seems very drastic and very reactionary for a team that's 500, only 7 games into the season.
Yeah.
Only Indianapolis could do that because they had to tie. So they are 500, 7 games into the season. So it seems very fast, but it's just it's enjoyable. It's the sweet comeuppance that has now come around for Titans fans to finally continually getting one over on the Colts. And now they're just totally lost because they cannot beat the team that they have completely owned for the past couple decades. So they don't know what to do. They're like a lost puppy in the streets.
I hate smiling about a lost puppy in the middle of a street, Justin, but I was smiling ear to ear when I read that Matt Ryan news. That is just and that combined with, does Matt Ryan make the Colts a sleeper Super Bowl contender? Oh, they're the clear favorite in the AFC South, and this and that, and everything we heard over and over and over again. And I feel like we've talked about it a lot, and I feel like most Titans fans knew, Indy is a smoke show. Yes, Jonathan Taylor is a great player. Yes, they do have Shaq Leonard on the defense. And they signed Stephon Gilmore. They have names and they have star power. But there's just something about the current day Colts that just aren't getting it done. And you point to the rental old man quarterbacks that they keep cycling through. And at this rate, who is going to be the Colts quarterback next year? Will it be Ehlinger? Will it be, I've seen people make the joke that Ryan Tannehill will be the starting quarduback for the 2023 Indianapolis Colts. Who knows? But it is
there's another
very sweet comeuppance, as you said.
Yes, dude, I would hate to see this happen, but there's another Tennessee Volunteers quarterback coming out.
Oh, geez, yes.
Who Indianapolis could be eyeing to turn around their franchise. I hope that doesn't happen. That remains to be seen. But it's beautiful, Jake. It's wonderful to see that franchise in shambles, and it's so good to sweep them and this early in the season still. So we've kicked them down the road and don't have to think about another big time divisional game coming up. We still have 2 games against the Texans and 2 games against the Jags who are very much slumping again. So this team could go undefeated in the division. That's certainly on the table. And that's another thing that the old vintage, my nostalgic Titans did, is that they were very good early on in the AFC Central. They completely owned that division, really. Even though they didn't win it in 99, they still swept the Jags. You know, we all know the story. We all know that story. Sweeping the Jags 3 times when no other team. So, yeah, you'll love to see it. Jake, if we want to kind of wind down, we're kind of all over the place, but some more special shout outs. We did shout out Ben Jones. 2 big additions back on the defense from injury. Amani Hooker and Bud Dupree. These are dogs on the defense. They are so good. You see the difference that they make. Bud Dupree does make a difference in this defensive line. Dude, oh man, you just got to daydream about what could it be like if Harold Landry could get in on this action.
Oh, I thought about that this week. It's unbelievable how we see the pop with Bud Dupree like you're talking about. And it takes them to just such a level. And I honestly forgot that Harold Landry was supposed to be, he's the marquee guy on this line. You know, he's being paid the most. Crazy. Anyways, continue.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. It's good to have them back. Excuse me, again. Once again, David Long Jr. making big time plays for this defense. I mean, we kind of expected it. He was coming into his own. He had a good year last year before he got hurt. But he's really coming to his own, and he's just really become a star player for this defense as a 6th round pick back in 2019 in that incredible draft class with Amani Hooker and Jeff Simmons and AJ Brown and Nate Davis. J-Rob was just on something. He was on some kind of draft drug where he was just drafting hit after hits. But so good to see David Long Jr. back. And finally, when the offense just needs a player to deliver and catch the ball, we have what looks to be like a tight end 1 in Austin Hooper receiving the football, 3 catches for 56 yards. Like, that is amazing. That is exactly what we needed. And we're hoping to kind of get from Austin Hooper, who has had a lot of success catching the ball throughout his career. So, dude, huge plays. All 3 catches were huge. He even had the Julian Edelman ball not touching the floor kind of Super Bowl catch against the Falcons, where how did that not hit the grass? But he made it happen in a play that we desperately needed. So big time shout out to Austin Hooper, my 2nd player of the game after Andrew Adams.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hooper.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to have wondered if he heard the trade rumblings or the rumors that he's just not working out with the club. It was a great time for Austin Hooper to rise to the occasion as a pass catcher because, you know, just like last year, Justin, at this rate, me and you are going to be going to the open tryouts to play wide receiver for this team with now Kyle Phillips on IR, and they're bringing in all kinds of guys from all across the league. Who knows? Who knows what this grouping of pass catchers is going to look like? But yeah, huge game for Austin Hooper. What a catch! What a catch! I saw it live in the broadcast. I like started like, you know, pointing at the screen, standing up, and he didn't touch the ground. I saw it. But of course,
I thought it did.
It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
I was like arguing with my brother and other people in the stands. Like, I was sure, I thought it like quickly like bounced off the ground, but then they showed that one angle with the slow-mo good reception or whatever, where he did catch the ball, received it. Yes. And dude, while we're talking about players in this passing game and receiving the football, I have a depressing stat for you. So our number 1 receiver, Robert Woods, has 230 yards receiving on the year. I looked at where that ranks across the league. It's not pretty, Jake. 78th in yards. Our number 1 receiver is 78th in the league in passing. So it can't all be fun and roses and all that good stuff. I mean, I'm sorry to bring it back down, but this passing game has things to work on. And we need Burks to get healthy. Kyle Phillips has been such a disappointment. I mean, yeah, he was drafted in the 5th round, but he got a lot of hype in training camp. And I believed in the hype, Jake. And then the injury bug has bitten him. And I thought he would be a big part of this offense by now. But man, this passing game, if we want to do something special with this season, we've got to find more balance instead of running Derrick Henry 30 plus times, grinding out 120 yards just to give any kind of something to this offense.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we can climb higher than 78th for our best receiver.
Yeah. Jeez. The wide receiver curse just continues to loom over this franchise. And we had possibly the answer, Justin. We had the answer in hand. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I don't want to talk about AJ Brown anymore. But it's crazy. And I hope you're in the mood for another big helping of Derrick Henry, 30-plus carries, because looking ahead, Justin, to this Houston game just really, really fast, Ryan Tannehill is going to be limited. He did not practice today. He came out with the walking boot off, talked to media, seemed like he might try and tough it out and play. But if Ryan Tannehill's immobile, we saw it late in that game against the Colts. If he's immobile, he's a sitting duck behind this just shoddy offensive line. So it's going to be the Derrick Henry show against the Houston Texans. And it's a good thing, Justin. If you look back at the last 3 games Derrick Henry has played against Houston, 200 yards, 200 yards, 200 yards, all surpassing 200 yards against this Houston Texans defense. So I hope you're ready for a big spoonful of Henry because here he comes. Whether it's Malik Willis in there handing it off or a hobbled Tannehill handing it off, it's going to be the Derrick Henry show. It
definitely will be. And I mean, if Todd Downing can do something correctly, and I'm sure they are, they've got to be prepping like Malik Willis, just some packages for him in case Tannehill can't go or injures it further in this game against Houston. Like, have him ready to with Derrick Henry in the backfield. I want to see like a lot of those read option plays and things that he did well in college. Don't make him a prolific NFL passer from the pocket. Have him be ready to do things that he did well in college, use his legs, use his speed, and change that up with Henry in the backfield. And maybe we can have an effective offense doing something like that if Ryan Tannehill can't go or he's limited. So hopefully we got some backup plans going on in the works. But a huge thing to keep an eye on, is Taney's injury status.
Definitely. Well, Justin, I think that is going to wrap it for us. Important divisional win, swept the Colts, sweep them. It's 5 in a row. I can't wait for the 7 in a row show. It's going to be great. I can't wait. The Colts are in an absolute tailspin. Like we said, important divisional game next week at Houston. I know they're in the cellar, but without a starting quarterback and a shoddy O-line, anything can happen. We know
they always play us well too.
They always play us tough.
They've been a trap game for us in the past. They were last year, so we're not overlooking this Houston team at all. It's going to be a challenge.
Definitely. Got to go get that divisional win next week. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Tighten up. It has been a great week to be a Titans fan. Injuries aside, it was a great, heartwarming, gritty team win against those wretched Colts, and it just made it that much sweeter to complete the sweep. That's going to do it for me, Justin. Do you have anything else to finish us off?
No, that was beautiful. Feels good, guys. We're back at 4-2 after 0-2 start. Feels like a new team. We've established the winning culture here. We've rediscovered the identity of the Tennessee Titans, which is sloppy, ugly ball. But a lot of times they result in W's, and it's all about getting the W's, guys. So we're trying to make it 5 in a row next week. Stay tuned for our preview on the Texans. Tighten up.